Hello, my sweet friends, and welcome to DIY with Nadia. Today I'm making a darling snowman wreath made out of all Dollar Tree items, and it's going to be a super easy wreath. Let's get started. For snowman wreath, we're starting with two of these wood blend wreaths. The small one is 9 inches in diameter, and this big one is 12 inches in diameter, or 30.5 centimeters, and this one is 22.9 centimeters to round it off. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give both of these wreaths about 2 coats of the chalked Rust-Oleum paint in linen white. And I'm using a brush that's kind of shabby because it's going to be easier to get in all those crevices. And if it's not fully white, it's all right. This is a snowman. We're going to make him rustic. So if it's not going to be painted fully, that's just fine. That may be something you would prefer to do. Your other choice would be to spray paint it if you wish. But it's a little cold here in Chicago already. It's in the 40s. And I really don't like spray painting at home. So I'm just going to paint it with my chalk paint here. This wreath is so easy that this next part is pretty much the hardest part of the wreath, and that is connecting them. So I'm going to go around my wreath and try to find the flattest part, which I think is this part right here. And then the flattest part on this side, which kind of looks like this right here. And I need to unite them. And I can't just unite them together. I need to go through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to tunnel through. Okay, so I got one this way. And then I want at least 2 right here going the other way. I'm just going to use a letter opener to kind of wiggle my way through here. Don't worry if you scratch the paint at this point, because this part is going to be hidden. Okay, so what I did there is I tunneled it and then kind of twisted it open, and then it opened up so I can put this part in. And I'm going to go about 1 inch to the other side and try to get in there too. And I did the smaller one first just because I feel like the other one would be a lot easier to get through. So first, let's turn it upside down. We're going to do the middle one. And since I got it this way, I'm just going to go in and lock it in place. And then I'm going to grab one more zip tie and just go over both of these, even though, look how strong this is, look. So this worked so well, and all I did was I put one going this way, the next 2 coming another way, so you have connection from both sides, and then one just to kind of bring everything together. Okay, now it's time to decorate our wreath. And here are a few things that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using a little branch of this. Then I am going to use 2 of these picks. These have lots of berries on them. And then one of these that has an apple. Now first, let me just take all of these tags off. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this apple. And this little guy right here, it's not, it's very sad looking. So I'm going to remove it completely. And that is why I'm going to be including this. So now I'm going to cover this area right here by bringing this right over here. Okay. First, I'm going to be placing this pick, and I opened it up a little bit right in there. Then I'm going to be coming in with this pick, and I'm going to go to the other side. I'll shorten it later. I just want to play around with it first to see how I like things or where I like things. And actually, you know what? If it's not going to show, there's no point of shortening it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another zip tie, and I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm going to zip tie these in place. You could hot glue them, but zip tie is just going to be a lot more. It's going to be stronger and it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, once that is done, I'm going to grab another one of these just to even out all the redness that's on this side and bring a little pick right there. I think I'm going to put it right there. And I'm attaching it to this pick, straight to the center right there. This pick I do need to cut. This is not going to be easy because this is a pretty strong one. Okay, I cut that, and there was a wire that was sticking out. I'm just going to wrap it around and secure this whole pick in place. Now the pine cones, the big one, I'm going to face the other way to cover this right here. Bend it just like that, and I'm going to put that right there, just like that. And then this pine cone is going to cover this area right here. Now I'm grabbing a piece of floral wire and I'm going to wrap it around to secure the pine cone in place. I'm going to give it a little bit of hot glue just to put it in place. And I'm going to add this little pine cone. Next, I need to see where I want this little piece to go. When I decided where it's going, and I want it kind of to be centered, and right there where I bent it, that's where I'm going to connect it. Now I'm going to put the zip tie pretty much in the center because that is where I want to connect it, but I'm not going all the way down. I'm not going around. I'm trying to kind of sneak it in between. And then I'm grabbing my little piece, and by the way, I did bend it right here. You want to bend it just a little bit because it's a circle. So you want it to kind of lay really nicely on there. To attach it, I'm going to move this branch down and my little leaf right here, and I'm going to attach it right there. This way we can hide the zip tie with the green little branch that I moved. So tightening it in place. Now I'm just going to move my, some things around. And you know what? After doing this, you could still see the ugliness right there. So that's all right. That's where we have our fill-in branches. That's what we're going to be calling them today. Okay, and I got my little branch right here. And I'm going to put it right there. Maybe another piece right on top because I want it to be a little fluffy about there. We're going to cover that area. Ooh, this is looking really good because I don't want it to be too much here. So let's hot glue this top piece to this piece, and then a little hot glue at the bottom right there. Now it's time to clean up a little bit. I use this vacuum all the time. This little guy is so impressive. I have it in my Amazon store, but I'll link it in the description box because it's just so cool. I love using it. All right, so we have the bottom done, the middle kind of done. We have one more piece to add there. And then we're going to add the hat. For our snowman hat, I'm going to be using this ornament, and I absolutely love it. It comes in red check, black check, and another color. But I will link it from the Dollar Tree below in the description box. And all it is just a little ornament hat. And I'm going to remove the little hanging piece right here. And now we got to decide where we want to put it. I love the fact that it matches these berries. Actually, that's the reason that I chose these little picks from the Dollar Tree, is because of this. So when you decide where you finally want your little hat, you can face it down a little bit. That's okay. That's what I'm going to be doing. Is I'm not going to be putting it flat. I'm going to face it down just a little bit. What you want to do is in that area, grab a piece of fluffy pipe cleaner. Not thin, but fluffy. The reason I'm doing this is for more surface area. Here's what I mean by that. Our Santa's hat is going to be right here, and it's going to be attached here or there. I want to make sure that it's going to attach really, really well. So I'm basically making more surface area. And hot glue sticks really well to these pipe cleaners. Okay, this is what mine looks like. Do you see it right here? This is basically paper, so you can bend it down also to cover that if you needed to. And so now I'm going to really give it lots of hot glue. All right, our hat is on. We have the middle part done. The bottom part is done. And now I'm grabbing some buffalo check ribbon. This is called Farmhouse. It's 5/8 inch in width. And I'm going to take up this space right here because it's kind of getting a little busy. So I don't want to make things too big. I'm going to just make a small little bow. Just making a simple bow. Dot of glue. I'm going to find my center. Bring it in. Figure out where I want it. And that way this part is going to cover the center right here. Move my pine cones around so it kind of covers nicely right there. I'm going to hot glue it, and that is it. I'm going to grab a permanent marker and cover this area where the jute cord was attached. And I'm just dabbing permanent marker on right there, and it's gone. Just like that. Next, I'm just bringing my little clamp right here, and I'm grabbing a sheer ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and this is sheer white ribbon. I love using it, so if you have a chance to grab it, I would, because hanging something with it, it just takes away from, you know, catching your eye. Your eye should be on the actual wreath, not what's hanging it. I'm just cutting off a little piece, and then I'm just going to hot glue one on top of the other, and since it's sheer, grabbing my little finger protector. There you go. Once it's dried, I'm going to just move it over so that the part that's overlapping is hidden on the inside. And that is it. We are ready to hang our wreath.